And there's some insecurities. Do you ever have insecurities where it's like you see it in your parents and you're like, whoa, I don't want that to be me?
Um, that's a little deep. Yeah, okay, so sure. Sometimes my parents can be um not over dramatic. That's not the word I'm looking for, but just think like, let's just say temper is one thing. I've seen it and I don't like it. So I try to be calm all the time. And I think I do a good job of that. I don't know if that's me just being a calm person or me compensating for the fact that this is something I don't want to do or repeat or recreate
For sure.
from what I've seen in my parents.
Did we have this talk on this yet about that?
Similar talk? Yeah.
About like not wanting to repeat. There's like a difference between
Yeah.
seeing something in your parents that you don't want to be present in your life, or like not even knowing it, and it's still present
And
in
then
your
it
life.
comes up. Yeah. So there's like the temper thing. And my parents aren't angry. They're very happy people. But like,
his parents are so nice.
the odd chance that like something
It happens. Everyone gets a little upset once in a
Yeah.
while.
I guess it affected me a lot, enough for me to consciously think about it.
There's moments where even my father, when he's doing something and something doesn't go the right way, like you said, he just like loses his temper really quickly.
Yeah.
So it's like me actively, when something doesn't go the right way, I like stop, breathe, understand, and then plan. You know,
Yeah.
like figure out what's next.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to lash out, because what does that do for me? I don't need to break anything, because what does that do for me? You know, like, yeah. What do you think?
Of your situation?
Anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's like little things that I guess if we're talking about parents specifically, you'll see things, and I guess you think to yourself, I don't want to do this to my kids or to my partner, because you are your parents' kids and your parents are partners with each other. So I guess it relates in that way, because when you're a kid or when you're an adult and your parents show a side of themselves you're not used to seeing, it can really mess you up. In a
So
little
are they
sense,
wrong for showing that side? Because
No.
intrinsically you think that they are doing this and I will never do this to the person I love or to my children. So it's like, are they wrong for have done it initially?
No.
Why do you think not?
I don't think anyone's wrong for doing anything with malicious. Sorry.
Without
I don't
malicious
think
intent.
without malicious intent. Because people can have tempers. People have emotions. That makes sense. I get it. I think it's what you do with those emotions and the repercussions of those emotions, and how much can you control yourself and be like, you know what, even after the fact, hey, I'm sorry that I blew up at you. I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to work on this. Like, I just got really heated in the moment. Can you forgive me? That's different than like just blowing off your temper every week for something, right? So it's different with every person, every situation.
And at the same time, one thing starting to understand with my parents as I get older is like, they're also just humans. They're also just people.
Dude, yeah.
Like,
You know, I've been noticing something similar with couples. You go first.
Okay, so it's like with parents. I remember when I was younger, it was like, this person is the light of my life because I don't know much, and they're an older adult that talks to me, listens to me, and like is involved in my life. But as I've grown older, I've understood that like they're also humans, and they do make the wrong mistakes too sometimes. And like, I'm not gonna get mad at them for making wrong mistakes, but it's like, when I was younger, if they made a mistake, I'd be like, okay, that's okay, because they're my parents. Or like, not even understanding it's a mistake. But now that I'm older, it's like, whoa, Dad, like, no, that's not how should be done. And I understand that you're an adult, and I'm not gonna get mad at you for that. Or like, things that I've heard about in their past, and it's like, whoa, I didn't know that, but I understand now that you had your own life before me, and you still have your own life now. There's so much going on. It's like, yes, you're such an important person in my life, but at the same time, like, you're your own human, and you make your own mistakes, and you learn your own ways, and you take your own paths, you know? What were you gonna say about couples?
I was gonna say that similar to seeing and accepting that your parents make mistakes too, lately I've been exposed to the idea of couples, other couples making mistakes, not having perfect relationships.
Yeah,
and it's cool. It's cool. I guess it's also kind of unfortunate that every couple has fights, but that's normal and natural, right? And I'm beginning to see that every single couple that I come across, whether I know them well or not, they all go through very similar problems as every other couple.
Sonder.
So
Sonder?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. Even over the weekend, I remember there was like a couple there that was kind of arguing. Well, like, the guy was being stubborn, and the girl was like, stop being so stubborn. But I was like, oh dang, I don't want to be that stubborn ever, you know? It's like, kind of, you see it in someone else's relationship, and you realize that like, oh, their relationship is way different than any relationship that I've had. but it might be working for sure, but that's not something I want to bring in. Like, I wouldn't want to bring in stubbornness to my relationship, you know?
Yeah, if you can reflect on it and learn from others, that's great. I also think that understanding that every couple goes through a crazy wide range of different problems, some of which you've had similar experiences, some of which you haven't.
Never have.
It also makes it easier to accept your own issues that you have to deal with in your own relationships. It's like, you know what? Sure, I fight with my partner, but if we can come out of this better and stronger and we can communicate effectively, then that's okay, because people fight. And that's normal and natural.
I think that you can relate that to any situation, not just a couple, any person in life. Just the idea of Sonder is such a strengthening moment, because then you realize, like, everyone's got something going on.
We're not alone.
What was it you saying? There's like a saying that if everyone's problems were in a bowl, you'd go for your own problems.
Something like,
I don't remember if that's the exact saying.
If we could switch something like that, where
if everyone's problems were in a bowl and you had to pick one, you'd go for your own.
You go for your own, because you don't want anyone else's problems. You want, that's
because you can handle and you can survive and float in these problems that you have in your life. But the moment you start realizing that everyone's got these problems, and that's why another thing is like, oh, I'm not gonna be mad at strangers, or unless they like really do something wrong. But it's like, if they might just be having a bad day, you know, like someone's honking me on the street, like, dude, okay. You don't have to do that, but okay. You don't have to just give him one of these. A little middle
just finger. A little. What was that? Nothing.
Don't get mad at strangers. Just as you driving by. But yeah, it's often like that too. Or like the cashier's rude. And I'm like, okay, I didn't do anything to make you mad. Like, I'm just here. I'm getting groceries, and you're just like somehow angry.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't care. I'm gonna let you have the space. Like, just don't talk.
Yeah, it's okay. I get it.
I'm not gonna do that, because I don't want to be like, oh, it's okay. Like,
no, but you accept. You're like, you know what? You're probably having a bad day. That's fine. I'm not gonna get in your face about anything. Like, I'm sure you're not that nice to me, and you should be. But like,
hopefully you're not this mean to everybody.
Hopefully your day turns around from
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's just like, because maybe I'm having a bad day too. I'm just like, like, move, you slow walker. Behind the slow walker, just why so slow?
I always with my friends, I'll do like a kind of thing. I think it's so funny. You ever see that kid in like grade 1, and he's like picking on Johnny or coloring outside the lines, and the teacher comes over and is like, Johnny, stop coloring outside the lines, like, behave. And he goes,
no, is it a commercial or some shit? What is it?
No, I think those kids just exist. I think that's
wait.
I think that's so funny that I always do it to my friends when like Marc, can you pass me that bowl of chips? I'd be like,
even
just as a joke.
Even in like our first podcast, there's something going on, and we said something, and you just like made some like weird sound, like when I said something.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe you should buy a hard drive, and you're like, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
like, so silly.